Morton will head that way as well. Lien tries the draw and is stacked up again. He's kind of keying off the inside linebacker. If the backers go out with the motion man, he tries to run it, and Prep is kind of playing at 50-50 right now. That time, Stillian kind of half cheated out. Solomon went half cheat out, and Lien decided to run because there wasn't a backer there. But again, the defensive line stacked him up, and the Saxons are looking at a 3rd and long.
Worked in the first half, but I think the difference here in the second half, Todd, the work of Shad, Blair, Mark Russell, and Dinny Hansen. The defensive line is standing its ground, and Lien does not have any holes to choose from.
Yeah, they've really nullified that advantage that Prep had early. Double wideouts to both sides this time on 3rd and 8. Lien. Clancy Welsh trips him up. The Saxons will be forced to punt. Almost got outside, but Welsh got just enough to make the tackle of the Ferris quarterback, and the Saxons will be forced to punt once again.
So far, this second half has belonged to the G-Prep defense.
Again, the winner of tonight's game takes on the winner of the Mountain View Ingram game. We'll have that game for you next Saturday at Albee Stadium, and we'll have the action live here on Fox 28.
Lien's done a good job of steering the football away from the return man. Let's see if he can do it again.
Bobbles it again, gets the punt away and minimal contact. They'll not throw a flag on it as he was bumped, and gets a good roll as well, as it'll go down to the 15, make it the 16-yard line for the spot, and Gonzaga Prep will take over from there.
Once you bobble the football, once you fumble it on the snap, you're live. They can hit you. If you drop it, as he did, he fumbled the football. He sort of started with it like he was going to run, and then
he takes a step. He's hot then.
Yeah, I think he did take a step just to come up with the football. But again, that's the 3rd time he has punted the football and got a great roll and kicked it away from the return man. Drops it, picks it up. There, takes that step right there. I think that's why you didn't see a flag.
Clock continuing to run, 1:45 to play here in the 3rd quarter as Prep starts at its own 16. Peterson with a bad pitch, fielded nicely by Byrd. He'll get back and over the line of scrimmage for about a yard gain. Nice turf bounce that time. Yeah, as the Bullpups pick up a yard.
If this were a fast break, this would be a great bounce pass leading up for the score. It's about time a bounce has gone Prep's way, though, Todd.
Yeah, and it's amazing with that ball going end over end as it was that it bounced that cleanly.
Ferris has forced most of their breaks, forced the interception and the 2 fumbles.
Cleaner pitch this time for Byrd, and a lot of room short side. He'll be out close to 1st down yardage before being dropped. Rob Wargo leading the tacklers for Ferris with some help from Brandon Clark.
Well, Byrd gets the run, Todd, but give credit to Jim Branson. Watch the block Branson makes. He'll seal the end. See Branson, top of your screen? He comes outside, and watch him cut right in. Boom. Nice block. Picks off Damon Evans, and that allows John Byrd to get outside and get close to that 1st down.
Yeah, there had to be some it is a 1st down, other good downfield blocking. When he's picking up a DB, nobody else came out from the backer situation. So
good job of sealing by that offensive line.
From the 27, 1st and 10, Gonzaga Prep. Matt Byrd, good job up the middle, good yardage that time. Jason Calhoun bringing him down. It's really the first time that they've run Byrd up the middle for quite a while.
Well, they haven't had much success doing that. You haven't seen too many players slipping or falling. The turf is wet. It's interesting. Dick Zorn's the head coach of the Eastern Eagles, who play their home games here in the Big Sky Conference, says this turf is better when it's just a little bit damp. There's better traction when it's actually a little damp. Super turf.
And that's the situation it's in right now. Last week they let the standing water freeze, and it was bad. Peterson with a deep run on this option, and that allows the defense to come up. They really strung it out well and made the stop. Flag down on the play as well, as Peterson brought down by Joe Green, along with Bruce Backlund.
Did you see Larry Gonzalez come up from his safety spot? He tried to force the fumble, trying to make the big play.
Holding against Gonzaga Prep the call. Yeah, it was an unusual drop. They got in deep enough from the play that Graham Peterson really not able to take the angle of attack that a wishbone quarterback wants to. consequently, the defense able to come up and get the licks.
Yeah, you want to force the defensive end or the outside linebacker to make a decision, and that time Peterson was so deep and the play was so strung out that he could not force a decision to be made, and it allowed the Ferris defenders, the defensive linebackers and the defensive backs to come up and make the play.
Saxons declined the penalty. A little bit of a surprise there by everyone as the Bullpups scramble back up to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be a 3rd and 4 for Prep.
Yeah, and it surprised G Prep. I think they had a different play called, Todd, and now they have to signal in another play. They had a 3rd and about 15 play call.
Sestero goes to the top of the screen, Carpenter to the bottom. And John Byrd in motion. Look to Carpenter. He's well covered, thrown too high and nearly intercepted as it was over John Byrd. Larry Goncalves nearly came up with the ball.
Again, we talked about it when they split Carpenter out. They looked to him first. He's looking at him right now, still looking, running about a 7-yard out. He's covered, checks off, goes to the secondary receiver. Goncalves almost comes up with another big play.
Peterson on to punt once again. First time he's done so here in the second half. And a great boot by Peterson. Morton backpedaling will let it go. And if the Bullpups can hurry, they might have a chance. And Slavin touched it. Will they call it? No, it'll be a touchback.
He's got to have
not get the full downing of it, and then when trying to down it, knocked it into the end zone. He had time to get around it and down it rather easily, but he took the dive after it, and so Ferris will have it at the 20. The ball had slowed up enough that they could have downed it.
Yeah, he touched it, but you have to bring it under control.
Right.
You have to bring it under control. And he made a dive for it. I think he really didn't know where he was on the field. You're right, it was rolling slow enough to where he might have been able to just make the stop and down it.
Real discussion going on there. Graham Peterson, his dad Bob, and head coach Don Anderson talking things over. Saxons have it. They'll run one play or so here until we get to the end of the third quarter. There's 10 seconds showing on the clock right now. Two-back set, and Morton carries. Spilled for a loss of yardage. Dinny Hansen leading the way along with Shad Blair. And for Blair, the tackle for loss, his 5th of the year. We have 12 minutes to play, and a potential upset in the making as Ferris leads Gonzaga Prep 10-7. A big weekend of football on KAYU as we start the fourth quarter. Ferris leading, and don't forget tomorrow, the Apple Cup live from Pullman. You can see it in the Inland Northwest only on KAYU Fox 28 beginning at 3:30. Morton carrying the ball, tries to cut back and will be dropped again as Russell and Dinny Hansen combine for the tackle, and again the Saxons are going backwards. Big game, of course, down in Pullman. If you're headed down there tomorrow, we ask that you please drive safely and take your time. For you Cougar fans, of course, who are ready to celebrate with the Cougars perhaps tomorrow night, you can do a little pregame celebrating after this contest tonight. A reminder that the Cougar Apple Cup